St. Martin in the Fields. This church's curious name has two origins. St. Martin was a Roman soldier who tore his robes in half to help dress a naked beggar on a cold winter's night. In his sleep, Martin saw a vision of Christ in the form of that beggar, and he promptly converted to Christianity. The "in the Fields" suffix was meant to distinguish the church from another named St. Martin located in the city at the time. The church, as it stands today, was built in 1721 on the site of an older church built in 1542 by order of King Henry VIII, who wanted to redirect the funeral processions of plague victims away from his home at White. The modern church was designed by James Gibbs, one of the most influential architects in Britain. King George was reportedly so impressed by the church that he personally paid £100 to the men who built it. That's £100, not each. Gibbs liked the church, but not that much. Okay, one, King George was the one who paid it, and two, obviously you've then got to take into consideration inflation. Like, that's the point to make, is inflation. Did no one proofread these? We've got the Darwins from before, and now we've got Gibbs rather than George. King George, sorry. Which one would it be? It's certainly going to be probably King George I. Because King George III was around the 1770s. So it's not going to be third. And I don't think second ruled that long, because William and Mary became monarchs in around 1690, because that was when the Battle of the Boyne was between the Williamite and the Jacobite forces. I shan't say Protestant and Catholic, considering the Pope was on the side of the Protestant candidate for king rather than the Catholic. But that's because the French supported him, and the Pope didn't want to side with the French because he didn't like the French. That's why he sided with the Dutch. But he sided with the English government and Scottish government, technically, and Welsh. And Irish, kind of. And then after Mary died, it was William on his own. And then after William died, it was Queen Anne. And then I think it went to King George. So it's probably King George I. Right. St. Martin in the Fields' proximity to the Strand made it a popular church for the rich and upper class in the 18th century. Right. Westminster. Buckingham Palace. When Queen Victoria first moved into Buckingham Palace in 1837, mere weeks after her ascension to the throne, she remarked, "I delight in Buckingham." This was before she realised the palace was cold, musty, poorly ventilated, and far too small for her needs. The original building was a private residence built by the Duke of Buckingham. King George III purchased the appropriately named Buckingham House in 1761 as a gift for his wife, Queen Charlotte. George IV took the throne in 1820, and he aimed to upgrade Buckingham House to a palace. The grandiose king hired architect John Nash, and Nash doubled the size of the original Buckingham House, adding a new suite of rooms, demolishing the north and south wings and rebuilding them larger than before, and installing the large marble arch in the courtyard. After all, what's a courtyard without a marble arch? Don't even invite me round if you lack one. Nash got so carried away with building the new palace that his budget ballooned to about £500,000. He was fired in 1829, and George IV died the following year before the palace was completed. George IV's successor, his brother, William IV, oversaw the completion of Buckingham Palace, but never lived there. It was Queen Victoria who would be the first monarch to take up residency at Buckingham Palace, almost 20 years after its construction began. Royal Society buildings. I don't know where this is. I mean, it's in the Westminster area of this game, but I don't know where it is. Burlington House was one of the first three mansions built by the area that would go on to be known as Piccadilly Circus. Construction began in 1665. Great plague. Designed and paid for by Sir John Denham, the poet and Surveyor General of Works. Denham would sell the property 2 years later before the house was completed. The largest factors leading to Denham selling the property was the passing of his wife and his own failing health. Some remnants of Denham's original building can still be seen in the current structure. The property, which became known as Burlington House when the Earl of Burlington purchased it from Denham, changed hands over the ensuing years until the British government acquired it in 1854. Under the government, Burlington House became the headquarters for a number of scientific advisory boards, most notably the Royal Society of London, for improving natural knowledge. The Royal Society was founded in 1660 as an assemblage of natural scientists who met weekly to discuss experiments and the promotion of the natural world. The British government began paying them a stipend of £1,000 a week in 1850, which began a close relationship that led to the Royal Society being granted a home in Burlington House. The Society's motto is Nullius in Verba, or Verba, depending on which kind of Latin we're doing, which basically means take nobody's word for it, a motto to live by. Nullius in Verba. So I assume that's word. That's why we get verbatim. I don't know. Nullius, because it's not nihilio, which would be nothing. So it's not quite nothing. So maybe it is nobody's word. I don't know. Victoria Station. Here's some train history for you adrenaline junkies. As railway stations were built around the city, Westminster became a desired location for the competing railways to control. In the end, Victoria Station was built in 1862 and made up of 2 units run by 2 different companies. The Western unit was owned by the LBSCR, which we've seen. London, Brighton, should have a comma. London, Brighton and South Coast Railway. You can tell I'm becoming a teacher, can't you? While the Eastern unit was occupied by the London, Chatham and Dover. You've got commas there! Do you not pay attention to what you're writing? Ugh. Each had its own entrance and was inaccessible from the other side. In Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, Jack claims that he was found as a baby in a basket in Victoria Station, insisting that he was found on the Brighton side, implying a social superiority. This perception of the 2 stations is supported by the fact that the station featured an elaborate 300-room hotel called the Grosvenor, while the Chatham station had no adornments or additional buildings attached to it. Detail like that are very important to babies. That's quite silly. And why not mention homes? I mean, I know I've already done that, but come on, it's important. Kind of. So we've done all of the locations now. These are just going to be silly, aren't they? Because these aren't historical. Let's have a look at the... Oh dear, I've looked at these now. Temp order, blighters, police. Okay, this is an actual historical one. Before 1829, London did not have a unified police force committed to the investigation and prevention of crimes. Yes, they had constables, but their sole responsibility was to bring people accused of a felony to a justice of the peace for deliberation. This system may have served them well before the Industrial Revolution, but the surge in London's population meant a surge in crime, and the government needed to respond. The Metropolitan Police Act of 1829 saw the creation of what is commonly known today as Scotland Yard, a unified police force that answered to the Home Secretary. An extra 1,000 officers were hired, in addition to the 400 officers already employed. They were given uniforms, and for the first time, police work was made a full-time job. These new officers were derided by Londoners, who saw the Metropolitan Police as an infringement on their personal lives. Crime is a tough habit to break, it seems. The whole endeavour was a success, however, and crime rates dropped significantly in the ensuing years. Despite the odd bit of corruption, the coppers were tough and relentless in their aim to clean up the streets of London. Lovely news for Jacob Fry and the Rooks, isn't it? Not really. Oh, these are various people we can learn about, but they're all myth stuff. I say myth stuff, not words. Let's have a look at our skills and just... No, I don't want to do that. How many we've got? We've got 8 skills. Which skills? I wanted some skills, but I can't remember what they are now. Was it one of those? I don't think so. There was one I was interested in, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was the stealth. Wealth regeneration. So yeah, I'm going to get that, so I need to level up Evie. So I'll boost my stealth. Need another 5 in. Yeah, so we're not going to get that straight away. None of them have actually died is the thing, so I don't really need these other ones. I mean, I've got 4 points, and that's the maximum thing I can spend at the moment, isn't it? Health boost? Yeah, let's take health boost. Have a look at Jacob. I don't think we've got any new ones for Jacob. As far as I'm aware. We've got 3, which is just enough for stuff here. Yeah, that's probably... Yeah, let's stop them escaping, I think. That's probably quite useful. Anything interesting in here? Oh, their training grows. Less resilient. Little rooks. Okay. Bomb discount. I'm buying them. Black market affiliation. Ammunition's cheaper. Actually, I've got a lot of money. Let's get the pub investor. We can get more money than I'm never going to use. Pub games. Oh, that's just a thing that happens. Why not? More money that I'm never going to use. Professional bookies make money at the races. Team magnate. We don't have chemicals now. I'm not sure I see the point in getting this. I don't see the point with that. Bad powder, yeah, that just stops them doing so. Hello. Roots we can't get now. Can't get those. Okay. Right. Well, let's... Where... The next mission down here on the origin of... Ugh, that name. It's just fast travel. We're gonna get the money. We'll grab that money. Resolve all this nonsense. I don't know what's happening with this frame rate. I really don't. If I just run, will it drop? Yes, yes, it will. So, like, it says it drops down to 50, but I think... Oh, that dropped down to, like, 30 by the looks of it. So, I think there must be something happening with the frame rate that's... Just...
I've been looking for you.
A pleasure to see you.
Okay, that's another mission, but I don't want to do missions at the moment. We'll try using OBS.
There are all manner of things to do in this vast city. Some of them legal.
I need a wee bit of advice.
Is there an easy mission? Oh,
That's a nicely cut suit.
Thank you. Okay, so we've got a few missions on here to do. So I think what we'll do is we'll grab the money now.
Getting on for tea time, Jacob.
Where's the money? Where's the chest? Where's the safe? Oh. Oh, it's that. It's the suitcase with money symbol on, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well done.
I've been looking for you.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've got a few missions on here to do, but as I said, I think we're going to wait and see things through. Okay, so it looks like maybe we're going to be close to finishing that one off. So I could try and jump to sequence 8, but I don't like that idea. Well, let me go back. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back here. Oh, really, actually, let's actually switch to E. Oh, it won't let me switch to E. I don't know why it won't let me switch. Yeah, I know it's empty. I've just grabbed it all. But I think what we'll do is next time we'll do these missions.
Got something to tell you.
We've got an EV mission there. We've got something for Agnes. But I think that actually go to the shop and grab all that stuff again.
Consider yourself at home.
Consider yourself one of the family. Free for all. The treasure maps are just going to be... yeah, just random bits and bobs. Just randomly do things and whatever. Souvenirs. Portrait type painting. Splinters. But I think next time we'll do these side missions we've got in here with Evie and Agnes, and then we can go to doing Jacob maybe. I don't know, depends on how long they take. But we'll probably be trying OBS because the frame rate has not been 100%. It's dipped down every so often. I don't know what Bandicam's doing. It's almost like it's deciding to drop frames every so often, which is frustrating even if it's there we go. Like that. Even like an update hasn't fixed it, so I don't know what the issue is. We'll faff about, see what happens. We'll try OBS again, although I don't think I've tried OBS with Syndicate, but I know in other games it doesn't work as nicely as I'd like. I have to experiment and faff around, and we know that Bandicam doesn't work properly.
It's almost respectable.
I don't know, like, I wonder what's happened with Bandicam then. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's a Windows update that's messed things up. I don't know. We'll have a go. We'll experiment. We'll see what happens. We'll do it for science. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.